It has helped the real estate market. I mean, in January, everybody was calling me about the Trump bump and about these sales and what was going on. And then, but for the most part, those higher level cabinet people have either settled on something, and now we're kind of in the next tier, who they're hiring and who they're bringing in. The secretaries of, the Secretary of Navy, Secretary of Army, the new next level.
Piper, thanks for joining me on the Golden Age.
Thanks for having me.
So tell me, what is happening in the DC real estate market right now?
Well, it's been exciting. It always is exciting, but these last 6 months have been, a lot of changes, a lot of ups, a lot of downs, but consistent and a lot going on. So we've got like 7 things under contract I'm working on right now, and 12 things I just launched. So it's just a revolving door of all price ranges.
And luxury in particular has seen a big boom, right, in the last 6 months?
Luxury really has seen a big boom. I've been doing this over 20 years, and this is definitely the time for the luxury market throughout the DMV.
And so what has spurred this? Is it people want to be around the Trump administration? How are you thinking about what's caused all this?
It's definitely been through a lot of administrations. So I would say this one is a little different in regards to there's a lot of people who don't normally live and work around the DC area who are now interested in being in the DC area for multiple reasons, not necessarily just connected to the Trump administration, but maybe to, some of the industries that are surrounding it, a lot of defense, a lot of IT, consulting. So you see some people coming and getting a foothold in the area, definitely administrative related. And then I think there's just a general kind of new excitement, I'd say, even in the last year or so. Here, we're getting better sports teams. That's actually bringing probably more people than the administration at times. We're winning. We're getting better people. So we're getting sports management people buying on luxury. We're getting athletes buying on luxury. That's something that throughout these years was few and far between than it is now as well, too. So it's kind of a combination between the administration, the industries that are following the administration, and the increase in interest because of sports management and sports teams in the area.
But it's fair to say this is the richest set of buyers that has descended on DC in a long time.
It is fair to say that, yes.
And the industries, you mentioned sports. What about tech? There seems to be a lot of tech buyers. What have you noticed amongst that set?
Oh, yeah, a lot of tech buyers. Over the years, we've always had technology here throughout the DMV, and always people that wanted to do business with the government, but it was kind of the same old players and maybe same old companies and different players coming in and out, that ran the larger organizations. Now you're seeing new emerging technologies and AI, supply chain, things that we didn't normally have come here to the DMV for that kind of a market. And they are bringing a whole new set of influencers, and it's sparring. The upper end market is definitely part of that as well too. Well, they're all young like you guys.
And tell me about Mark Zuckerberg's house. What did he buy?
Yeah, he bought something in DC. It was on the private market, but it had been marketed for a while. Beautiful house. That was in the DC area, close, beautiful house. I mean, that's it still has privacy, but it was definitely one of the nicer offerings on the private market. And there's quite a bit on the private market, not just things that you see on Zillow and other sites like that. Agents like myself work in that market. There's some people that don't necessarily want to advertise their house, but we show things privately through agreements and have pictures and send people. So that's always interesting to see when you see something like that pop up, and it happens quite suddenly.
And politics, does that come into play? Do Democrats not want to sell to Republicans? Do Republicans not want to sell to Democrats? Or when it comes to
when it comes to money, I don't see that. No matter what your political beliefs are, if you've got a great cash offer on the table, you don't care who's buying it, typically.
And what part of town did Mark Zuckerberg buy in?
I guess I call that the Vauxhall area.
Is that also where Brett Baer's house was?
Yeah, it was close to Brett's, yeah.
And that house sold for, I think, the highest price at the time.
That's the highest price in the last 30 years.
Tell me about that house.
That was a beautiful house as well. Just, both of those were what everybody's looking for. They're stately on the outside. They're move-in ready on the inside. They have private yards, amazing finishes, right in the heart of town. You can be 10 minutes from everywhere. So those are, those kind of houses don't really come up all that often. And when they do, they're snatched up pretty quickly by the ultra luxury. So that was an amazing house, and they did a beautiful job remodeling it. They did a ton of work on that house. So they have great taste, and it's sold quick.
It was bought by a cabinet member, Secretary Lutnick.
It was.
Are,
They all knew each other, apparently.
are you seeing more cabinet secretaries? There seems to be this administration is filled with richer cabinet secretaries than ever before. Has that helped the real estate market?
It has helped the real estate market. I mean, in January, everybody was calling me about the Trump bump and about these sales and what was going on. And then, but for the most part, those higher level cabinet people have either settled on something, and now we're kind of in the next tier, who they're hiring and who they're bringing in. The secretaries of, the Secretary of Navy, Secretary of Army, the new next level. Those first ones were kind of announced. They gave a great splash, good press for all of us, but it's definitely lulled as far as that goes for now. And now it's all the people that are coming in, underneath those. And a lot of those people are the ones that I was saying that don't have typical ties to the DC area, which I would say in prior administration, there were, obviously some luxury sales, but a lot of those representatives and secretaries, they lived around here anyway. So maybe they moved up or moved over or did something, but they weren't new to the DC area. I think that's the thing that's really different in this administration, is that people are coming here and they're new to the area. So that's why they like things, that are kind of a Washington base, a close up and go, because it's not really, their primary residence. Whereas people that are coming in on the next level are really looking to live here a little bit longer. So they're looking for different things, like closer to schools and family oriented things, because their whole family's moving here.
And tell me about Secretary Scott Bessent's house. I think he bought in Georgetown, right?
He did buy in Georgetown. I did not have the privilege of seeing that, went so fast. But it's a great area. And Georgetown is always where everybody wants to be. And to my point that I just said, close up and go. I mean, nothing better than living in Georgetown, having a place there. You can just, close up and be out and be at National Airport in 10 minutes. And that's near all the restaurants, and you're near, all the buildings and the political aspect of DC. It's a perfect location. So you see a lot of them looking for those kind of things, close up and go.
And in terms of the executives in DC, not affiliated with the government, but closely tied up with the government, it seems like they want to be in DC for power, for influence, but they don't necessarily need to be so close to the White House within walking distance. They seem to be in the surrounding areas. Is that right?
It's definitely like this, the staffers and things that change on the side are more on Capitol Hill and walking distance to things. And in every administration, you see a lot of changes within that level. They're there for a few years, and they're right near the Capitol, and they want to walk to things. But no, these guys are all, they want to be in more private locations, more of the quieter locations, or, even if you're in Georgetown, something that's private, which is, that's the key thing. Try to find something at least with a private backyard and parking and garage parking and things like that. You've seen some migrate towards like the Ritz-Carlton penthouses where, they can just full service. See some in Georgetown, see some in Foxhall, see some and then you see some come out to the suburbs too, like even out to the McLean, Arlington area.
Tell me about Jeff Bezos' house. He bought that before the Trump administration, but it's an extraordinary house, I think, around the corner from Barack Obama.
It was. Yeah. That was also, an amazing remodeling job. He worked on that for years. It was, several houses all combined together, prime real estate, beautiful, rare property. But yes, near the Obamas, close to town, close to all of our good restaurants, close to everything now. Now we're hip.
And the new set, the new luxury buyers set, are they impulsive with their buys? Are these houses on the market for shorter and shorter periods?
I would say impulsive. Like everybody that I've been shown our listings to have a certain idea in mind about what they want for their house up here. Maybe they look kind of on a broad range. I mean, do they?
What are they looking for if you had to rank it? just in terms of
Location to DC, location to, you know, to where they're going to be working, but also privacy. Privacy is, it keeps saying, and you can have privacy even in, you know, in town and in a townhouse in Georgetown. Some are private, some are not. I've shown some that have even gone out here that like want a river view. They think they want a river view until they see, you know, that maybe the river isn't as pretty as where they are at different places, or the traffic is a little bit more difficult than they expected. They look from everything though, from like sprawling estates with lots of land in the suburbs, close in suburbs, in McLean or Arlington, then move into DC, you know, with beautiful single family homes with smaller yards to maintain, and then condos in some of the more luxurious condo buildings, and then also in townhouses as well too, like in Georgetown and things. So I feel like everybody kind of looks at everything and then is identifying what works for them and their lifestyle. Like who's moving here? Are they going to be some of these people are just here to work and are flying home every weekend somewhere, and some of these people are actually moving their families here. So that kind of seems to change what they're looking for depending on those needs.
do you get the sense that some of these people are trying to outdo one another with their homes, buy nicer and nicer homes to show off?
I don't think that's just limited to the administration.
That's always been the case.
Yes.
And tell me, how is this changing the DC scene overall? There, you know, this influx of wealthy people. Is it changing the restaurant scene? Is it changing nightlife?
Yeah,
Is it changing social life?
I totally think so. I think that, yeah, that it's definitely changing the restaurant scene. It's changing um, the cultural scene too, and what people are going to do. It's kind of upgrade. It's changing. Where our better shopping. We've had some new boutiques come up, personal shoppers, stylists. You know, I have now I have like design teams come and look at properties after, you know, the person has looked at it. So it's bringing in people like that, people from New York and Boston and other areas that are coming to, you know, make the house turnkey for people. So it's bringing in, you know, people from all ranks. That's, you know, service luxury, much more so than it's ever been before.
And I feel like DC historically was more of a old money, buttoned up, less loud crowd, and
Yes.
this seems to be a little different,
It does, even the way,
flashier.
you know, fashion for sure. I mean, you had a black dress, you could do anything in DC. Now you're starting to see people jazz it up a little bit, and stylists, and that is definitely different. I used to see that kind of stuff down in Florida or California, but never here in New York. But and a lot of those stylists and hairstylists are coming, that service and makeup artists. I mean, it's really kind of becoming much more the kind of things that you would see in other metropolitan cities around the US that we did not have here in luxury.
You mentioned privacy, but I want to talk about security. Have you worked with clients who have had Secret Service protection or security needs?
Yeah, many times.
And how does that work when you're bringing them to homes? Do they have to look at the homes next door to see if the
Yeah,
people who live?
they usually come, you know, at the contract stage, and security teams, private and also government security teams, then, you know, evaluate everything and do, you know, their own. That's, you used to see that every once in a while, but now much more so. And also for us as realtors, like I used to keep on, you know, like you used to be able to look at Zillow and see something that someone sold years ago, and now I get calls every day to take down all the pictures and floor plans and things. Those things are too accessible, and a lot are from private security companies, and some are from the government security.
Because they don't want potential threats seeing the layout of homes.
Yes, yeah,
It's really interesting.
yeah. That's
And in terms of perks, whether it's a golf simulator, an Olympic-sized pool, what are the crazy aspects of homes that this new luxury set
a lot of these
is
guys.
looking
A lot
for?
of these people are really into health, I would say now. So like a lot of cold plunge. I never. I mean, I think I've sold 5 houses that have cold plunge pools. I've never done that before.
Really?
Yeah, infrared saunas. You know, everybody saunas. When I used to sell a house, usually had everybody's old suitcases in it. No one would ever went in their sauna. Infrared saunas, cold plunge pools. You know, much more elaborate gyms. These gyms are all like glass doors with water fountains in them, and
They care about their physique and their look.
very much their health. Yes, so
Yes.
that's definitely something. That's something the prior old Washington did not care about. You didn't see anybody worrying about their home gym or their infrared sauna or their cold plunge. So that's definitely a change as far as that goes. Golf simulators, everybody still loves. That's been a real big thing ever since COVID. I mean, anybody that had a golf simulator in COVID was key. So that's always been a big thing. Besides that, and home gyms. I mean, the home gyms I'm selling now are elaborate. They look like you're going to a real gym with with glass doors and the whole thing, and massage beds, and then you've got your sauna and your cold plunge. So a lot of movement towards fitness.
You've sold a number of these homes. Are you able to share with us any of the clients that you've had?
No, I'm not going to do that.
Do you have to sign NDAs?
Usually I do. Yeah. I mean, sometimes I don't, but usually I do. And sometimes it's not always, it's kind of the quiet people that you don't even really realize that you wouldn't even, if I told you your name, they would, it's not the fun names that everybody's always looking for. I mean, these people that have been buying $10 million houses from us for a while. I mean, I've been doing this for 20 years and I've sold many $10+ million houses. They're often on the quiet side, and no one, if you said their name, they're like, huh? I mean, maybe if you said like it's the head of this company, they would.
But the ones in the last 6 months have
The
been
ones
more
in the last
household
6 months
names.
definitely, and they've all been published. So, I mean, everybody's name has been published that I know of that's going to be published, and all those. I mean, they have definitely been chased. The Wall Street Journal has been all over that. I must say, they're great at that.
Do you think that this is a Trump MAGA bubble that'll end when the Trump administration leaves, or do you think that we'll see more billionaires and more people in power shop for homes in DC
Eh,
beyond this administration?
I think it's going to stay. Because like I
Why?
said, they're the big names that you're talking about are people that are coming in for the administration, but the other people that are bringing in all of this new technology have been around a long time. Like, and then I've never seen so many new names of new technology. There's a lot of tech
What do you
money.
mean, tech CEOs? Is that what you mean?
Yes, tech CEOs. Yes. Of companies that I'm like, I have to look it up what they do. Like, wow. I mean, there's just so much of that coming in. There's so much of the new technology being embraced into the federal government that's never been before. Used to have in the old world, we had Beltway bandits, is what we used to call them. And it was, the same system integrators and those that supported them and supply companies. That's not what you're seeing now. You're starting to see angel investors bringing in these wicked smart, I think, kids, young, that are coming up with these technologies, and they're here to stay. Like, they're integrating in and they're making changes. So, and they're getting federal contracts of new ways that those old, the old, IBMs of the world, can't really keep up to with this new technology. So they're buying a lot of these new young companies, and I just think that's going to continue. There
You
seems
say
to be
that
a shift.
you say that they're here to stay, but I can't imagine that these homeowners are using their homes for more than a few nights a month.
Well, like, if you just think of the administration people that are coming in, the big names, but if you think of the people that I'm talking about, the next tier of people that are actually living here, they're coming here for other reasons too. Like, the technology is great and they're making business inroads and everybody wants to be what's coming on board. But we also have great schools and they're raising families, and we've got low crime rates, and we've got, beautiful neighborhoods. We have a lot of other things that are attracting this younger group. I'm selling houses to people now coming in from California, from Texas. They're just coming for the lifestyle change, and for the other things that the DC area has to offer that's for a long time been neglected. So once one friend comes and the other friend comes, and then you're starting to see. And then there's a lot of growth. I mean, like Amazon moving here, that certainly started it. And now you're starting to see all these other companies coming here, even like, the Nestle's of the world. And I mean, for years, no one knew that Mars was, one of the largest companies is based here in the middle of McLean. No one knew that. So now you're starting to see people are really seeing the opportunity. And then the culture is also supporting that. We have great school systems. We've got great restaurants. We now have all these new stores. So it's not just, the top people that you're seeing. You're correct. Those people are just coming and spending a few nights and then going home to Palm Beach or wherever they're from. But now the next tier, I think, are the people that are really starting to build up this area and are going to stay.
In terms of the Trump bump, in terms of the people who are looking for proximity to power, what are the neighborhoods that they're looking to live in?
Um, so definitely, DC, your Foxhall, your Colorama, your Georgetown, Foggy Bottom, but then go out to Arlington, the Country Club Hills in McLean, Langley
You're
Farms.
seeing people who want to be close to power all the way out in Arlington?
We are seeing them out here. Yes, we are. Definitely. And those people are the people that are here to stay. That's what I mean. The people that are really entrenching into the community, getting involved in community aspects because of mainly technology. And okay, I'm not a big sports person, but one of the big houses in McLean was 16 million was the sports guy. He owns part of that Monumental Sports. I'll think of his name. He was published in the Wall Street Journal about it too. But we're great proximity between Redskin Park is a little further out, and then then you've got the games here. All the hockey players and the people that that own the hockey teams all live around here. So we've got other things besides just the administration and the coolness of the area, picking up on restaurants and shopping and cultural things is making people entrenched, live their life here. That's why I think that's different. That's not happened before.
What's your most expensive listing right now?
I have a beautiful estate for 35 million. It's very cool, right? One traffic light to DC, you get 6+ acres, 5 lots. It's all gated, laid in stone. It's got 3 houses on it. And it's self-sustainable. It's got a beautiful vegetable garden, an orchard, a pool pavilion, tennis court, a Swiss Family Robinson treehouse. And it's like the grounds are so big that actually Amelia Earhart landed her plane there and spent the weekend there once.
You think it's fit for a tech CEO?
I think so. I think anybody that wants privacy better, when you can it's like walking through your own neighborhood in your own yard, 3 houses, walk around, no one can see you. I think it's great for a tech CEO.
Well, as soon as you sell it, please let us know and we'll have you
I
back
will.
on the show.
I will.
Piper,
Well,
thank
I've
you.
got a couple showings of it this week, so keep your fingers crossed.
Well, good luck, Piper. Thanks for joining me.
Okay, thank you.